going on, everybody? It's Austin, aka More Than an Agent. And here's an interesting question that some people will ask me. Should I hire a property manager or not? Right? So in this case, I love this question because I think a common misconception is that everybody that is getting into real estate wants to be a landlord, like has an ultimate desire to be a landlord. Like we all have strived on God's green earth to be a landlord, and that's it. Like rarely do people have that actual like ideology. Like I didn't go to school and take out all this student loan debt and all that other stuff just to be a landlord, right? Like so I love this question because it gets people's minds thinking about their role as a landlord. And the reality is that landlording is nothing but a job. Nothing but a job at all, right? And the best way that I can put it is that landlording is the employee role of the property management department, right, of the business. And the reason why I say the business is because real estate, while we think it's just a house and we just collect our rental income and so on and so forth, the reality is that these are many businesses. These are many businesses, right? And we needed to treat it the same exact way. So we do have like tenant management is a department of that business. Property management is a division of that business, right? Resident customer service is a division of that business, right? Maintenance is a division of that business. So all these things help put into perspective that a property is to be ran like a business. So should I hire a property manager or not? This is the easiest way that I can put that into perspective, especially because where I'm at in my particular journey, it's a question that has consistently popped up in my head. And this is with 17 units, and I know people with 30 and 40 and probably 50 units where they don't have a property manager. So here's the best way that I can put this. You should hire a property manager if you do not want to be involved at all on the day-to-day operations and management of your property, right? Some properties are a lot less work and management than others. But the reality is that if you do not want to be involved with the day-to-day at all, then you should hire a property manager, right? Very easy question, very easy question. So then you'll ask yourself, okay, well, how much does it cost? How much? And then you'll start to get that information. And what you'll come to realize is that for property management, they will eat into your profits. Not as that it's a bad thing for them, like they're trying to do something bad or anything like that, but it's just the simple fact that they need to make money, they're providing a service, and when you're starting off, probably between the first 15 to 20 units, you probably won't have as much net profit in order to hire a property manager. And what I mean by net profit is just the simple fact that once you get to $5,000 a month and your property manager costs you $1,000 or $1,500 and you're going back to $3,500 a month, you're like, I can use that $1,500. So it might be easier for you to manage it on your own in order for you to save money. And again, some properties are a lot easier to manage when you put systems in place, when you tenant screen properly, when you're buying properties and either they're renovated already or you're buying distressed properties and renovating them so that way they're not causing maintenance headaches. You eliminate a lot of those day-to-day issues, right? But if you're in it, right, and say you have 5 properties, so we have 17 units currently, spread across 5 properties, and we're all managing it ourselves. And personally, I won't choose to hire a property manager until we start closing on the much bigger deals, the 16, 25, 35 units, at bare minimum, where the income that property is generating can support paying that property manager while still making a great net profit at the end of the month from that property, from that individual, apartment complex, where you are not sacrificing the hard work that you have done previously and now giving up that net profit on a monthly basis to hire a property manager. So in that particular case, I hope that puts some things in perspective on where you are with your journey. And I was reading in a book in another way that it was put out, which I thought was a very, brilliantly put, because it's very, very simple. And it really is the aspect of when you are like a landlord, you're just a landlord, right? You're not necessarily a full-fledged real estate investor. Real estate investors, pure real estate investors, do not at all deal with the property after closing. All property manager. So you have to see where you are on the spectrum of, are you a 110% real estate investor? Which at that point, it is passive. We're doing this, we're investing in real estate for it to be passive. So if that's the case, the only way for it to truly be hands-off and passive, where you're just receiving a check in the mail, is to hire a property management company. They're still going to call you in order to make decisions, like executive decisions, but at least you can set systems in place where, hey, listen, if anything above $2,500 as far as a repair, you have to get my call on. Anything $2,500 and under, you can just pull the trigger. And then, well, obviously with the relationship that you build with your property management company, you essentially want to duplicate yourself on how you would run the property. And that experience comes from being a landlord, right? And you've learned the ins and outs, you've been kicked in the teeth before, you have the ups, you've had the downs, and you now know how to effectively property manage. And you're trying to instill that into your property manager, who is bringing their expertise to the table. And obviously you just want to add the icing on the cake in that particular scenario. So that is the easiest way to decide whether you should hire a property management company or not. Number one, with the portfolio do you have now, with the portfolio that you have now, it will hire a property manager, eat into your profits to the point where it no longer makes you happy. That's the first question. And then the second thing is for anybody that, could be looking at much of the, at the bigger units, or maybe you own, say 35, 40 units now and can afford that, then, by all means, because then that'll help you scale your business, right? That's freeing up time, that's freeing up energy, where you don't have to be working on tasks that don't necessarily get you to the bigger goals. And for anybody that's thinking about jumping into the larger buildings, the larger complexes, so on and so forth, you might as well start with property management right off the rip. And most likely the building that you're purchasing already has property manager in place, in which you can decide whether to keep that property manager on or replace them and bring in your new property manager, right? So should you hire a property manager? That should answer all your questions. Be sure to click that link in the bio if you just want to pick my brain. There's a link for that. If you're ready to buy your first investment property, if you're ready to buy your 9th investment property, whatever you're looking to do, there's a link in the bio that's there to serve you. I'm here to serve. Let's keep pushing this information out. Let's keep buying the blog. Let's keep enhancing our financial future and our financial freedom. And at that point, we can do whatever we want with life. And isn't that the plan? Like, wasn't that the plan? Isn't that why we do this to begin with? Right? I mean, it is for me, but whatever. All right? Cool.